Hello everyone! The Burning Legion has invaded Azeroth once again, and Shamans, they're able to pick up 3 different artifacts to empower them in this war. For the Enhancement Shaman, it's going to be the one and only Doomhammer, currently in possession of Thrall, who got his ass handed to him at the Broken Shore. He wasn't the only one who felt the pain of the demons, and the Elders of the Earthen Ring, they've called for an emergency council near the heart of our world, the Maelstrom. The greatest Shamans of the world are gathering there, but not even the Maelstrom is safe from the Legion, as Getsun and his troops, they show up to crash the meeting.
I've got this one, Shaman. Help the others!
Are you the so-called World Shaman? Ha! You fight like a crippled bird! You will die! Your precious earthen ring will shatter! Your world will succumb! The Legion will...
The Doomhammer.
We're able to repel the attack, but the demon, as well as the Doomhammer, they've fallen into the Maelstrom, all the way down to the elemental plane of Earth called Deepholm. It would be wise to keep it from falling into the wrong hands, so together with Thrall and Maura, we quickly go after it.
The Doomhammer fell somewhere below. Hold on! This part always gives me tummy the wobblies!
The Doomhammer could be anywhere. We'll have to split up. I will speak with the Shaman at the Temple of Earth.
I'll see if the Earthen at Stonehearth saw anything.
Shaman, you must seek out the Stone Mother. But be cautious. She is quick to anger.
You overreact, Tereth. Answers will come. A mortal approaches. Whenever there is trouble, the flesh is not far away,
She doesn't seem that angry to me, and although she hasn't seen our missing artifacts, she does know where to start. In the process, we can help her out with cleaning up the mess that has fallen into Deepholm. The Stone Trogs, they witnessed everything that fell from the sky and are now running amok at the Pale Roost ever since the green fire landed in their home. We must slay them, and maybe get one of them to talk, while also saving some of the Stone Drakes that the Trogs are trying to subdue. Iosera, the Stone Drake broodmother, she refuses to abandon her ex even in the midst of a Trog attack, so we need to transport her ex to safety to the Earth Mother's generous bosom. While we do that, we have some time to kill, so let's talk about the history of one of Azeroth's most famous weapons. Forged in elemental lava on the Orc homeworld of Draenor, this massive hammer is connected deeply with the elements, and its true power, it's only awakened in the hands of those who can speak to the elements in kind. The Doomhammer's origins, they've been traced back to the Ogre Empire's rise to power on Draenor and to an orc named Gelnar. It is said that Gelnar, faced with the problem of preventing the orcs from being enslaved by the ogres, wandered alone in contemplation for days upon days. When a mighty storm forced him to take shelter in a Gorgrond steam cavern, Gelnar experienced fever-induced visions. Pledging his body and spirit to the elements, he submerged himself in a pool of lava and was miraculously unharmed. According to legend, the head of the Doomhammer that was coaxed forth from the heart of Draenor itself, and when Gelnar later crafted an oaken handle, the forming of the Doomhammer was complete. When Gelnar's clan faced an army of ogre invaders, he raised the Doomhammer to the sky, and it spoke in fire and lightning. Thunder rolled down the blackened clouds above, shaking the very ground beneath their feet. Draenor boomed with all its fury, rain anointed them with the element's blessing, and as Gelnar rushed towards the enemy, they knew that somehow their clan would survive. Emboldened and with a fierce war cry upon their lips, they charged forward to meet their fate. There's also a long-standing prophecy associated with the Doomhammer. The last of the Doomhammer line will use it to bring first salvation and then doom to the Orcish people. Then it will pass into the hands of one who is not of the Blackrock clan, all will change again, and it will once again be used in the cause of justice. For generations, the Doomhammer was passed on from father to eldest son upon the father's death. The chain was temporarily broken when young Orgrim Doomhammer, he took the weapon to the lava pools where it had been created. There, he attempted to negate the prophecy associated with it while retaining the hammer's power. He feared that he would be the last of their line, the one to bring doom to their people. The elements, they were not happy with his actions, and the pool reclaimed the weapon from Orgrim. It remained in the lava until an orc chieftain, clearing his mind of pride and dreams of glory, reached in and took the Doomhammer in his grasp. Though the lava left him permanently scarred, the chieftain did not die. From that day forward, that chieftain would be known as Black Hand, and he used the Doomhammer to forge weapons and help fight off an invading ogre army. When the battle was complete, Black Hand returned the weapon to Orgrim, since the spirits had only permitted him to wield the weapon for one battle. They said that this was not the day of prophecy, and the Doomhammer still belonged to Orgrim, who would carry it with him until his death. When the orcs invaded Azeroth throughout the first war between orcs and humans, Orgrim Doomhammer crushed enemies with the weapon of his namesake, blazing a path of destruction through one settlement after another. As the war drew to a close, Orgrim used the Doomhammer to kill his commander Blackhand, since he had figured out that Blackhand was actually just a puppet of Gul'dan, and Gul'dan's corruption could no longer be allowed to spread through the Horde. Orgrim still wanted to claim Azeroth for his people, they still needed a world to live on after all, but he would bring honor back to the Horde, and to do this, he took Blackhand's life and claimed the title of War Chief. Doomhammer in hand, Orgrim led the charge against the human capital Stormwind, sacking it and winning a decisive victory for the orcs. They pushed the humans back, claimed plenty of land on Azeroth, but during the siege of Lordaeron, things took a turn for the worst, and now it was the orcs who were pushed back, all the way back to Blackrock Mountain. General Thrall was forced to watch as his lord Anduin Lothar battled with Orgrim Doomhammer. I drove my way through friend and foe alike in an effort to reach the two combatants. A massive blow from Orgrim crumbled Lothar's shield, but our leader answered with a fierce strike of his own, nearly rendered the orc's commander breastplate. Orgrim tore his armor free, even as Lothar discarded his shield. The two re-engaged in battle, trading vicious blows. Punishment and pain were dealt and endured. Orgrim punched, forcing Lord Lothar back. The orc followed with an overhead swing that our leader attempted to block. But before my horrified eyes, the massive hammer clove through the mighty blade of Stormwind, smashing down into the helm of our beloved commander. With his broken blade and his final breath, Lord Lothar opened a gash across the chest of Orgrim. Then, the Lion of Azeroth fell, his life essence draining out onto the battlefield. Orgrim expected the alliance to crumble without their leader, but the exact opposite happened. Thrall picked up where his former commander had left off, he connected to the light, he avenged Lothar, and he brought the Horde to their knees. Orgrim was not killed in that moment, instead he was imprisoned, from which he was able to escape, and in the aftermath of the Second War, Orgrim Doomhammer went into hiding. It was his desire to liberate his fellow orcs from human internment camps, but he needed a strong ally. He would find that comrade in an orc raised by humans, namely Thrall. Upon first meeting the hooded Orgrim, Thrall was unaware of the stranger's identity. When Thrall challenged him to a fight at the camp of the Frostwolves, the former chieftain gladly accepted. Thrall quickly proved his mettle, trading blows with the armored combatants, grappling with him, and at one point, he successfully wrenched the Doomhammer from the other orc's grasp. By the end of the bout, Orgrim was so pleased with his opponent's tenacity that he named Thrall his second in command. Together, they worked on reuniting the orcs, liberating their people from the internment camps, until Thrall was forced to watch this legendary orc die. I was outraged. Orgrim lay there, dying attacked from behind. The lance half still protruded from his back. This was a cowardly act. I knelt beside him. My lord, was all I could manage to say. My mentor then told me that I must carry on, that he had led the Horde once, but it was not his destiny to do so again. At last he said, yours is the title of War Chief, Thrall, son of Durotan. You will wear my armor and carry my hammer. The last of the Doomhammer line will use it to first bring salvation, which was Orgrim taking charge of the Horde and then doomed to the Orcish people, his decision that led to their defeat and imprisonment. Then it will pass on into the hands of one who is not of the Blackrock clan, Thrall of the Frostwolf clan. All will change again, and it will once again be used in the cause of justice. When a dying Orgrim Doomhammer bequeathed his armor and hammer to Thrall, the young orc felt that he was unworthy of such an honor. Orgrim told Thrall that there was no one breathing who was worthier. You will lead them to victory, and you will lead them to peace. Orgrim expired in Thrall's arms. To show that the orcs were not without a leader, he took on the old warrior's armor. Once the plate mail was secured, Thrall bent down and he picked up the Doomhammer, passed on not from father to son, but now from mentor to student.
I am the War Chief. for Doomhammer!
Over many years, the appearance of the Doomhammer, it has changed based on alterations made by its owners. In the possession of Thrall, a Frostfall symbol was added to the head of the hammer to honor his ancestral clan. The newly modified Doomhammer, it quickly became an icon of strength and justice. Most importantly though, it served as a symbol of hope for all of the orcs. Long ago, before Orgrim passed the Doomhammer to Thrall, he confided that although the weapon had once brought him closer to the elements, over time it had become a dead weight in his hands. Through the years, Thrall wielded the Doomhammer with honor and integrity, but after his execution of the former war chief Garrosh Hellscream, Thrall began to feel conflicted.
You made me what I am! No. You chose your own destiny.
This internal struggle was reflected in the Doomhammer as well. In Thrall's mind, the weapon that had embodied the ideals of justice and virtue, it had now come to represent vengeance. It's entirely up for debate what the difference is between, for example, using the Doomhammer to take down Garrosh or taking down any other threat to the world, but regardless, Thrall feels conflicted. History repeated itself as the Doomhammer has once again become a dead weight. That's why he was having so much trouble using it on the Broken Isles and against Gevzoon. But hey, perhaps we'll be a better owner as we finish the quest and we return to the Stone Mother.
Here comes my new favorite fleshling. You are a true friend of the Stone Mother, Shaman.
I honestly have no idea what Thrall was talking about. She's being an absolute delight. And better yet, even Ayesora is very pleased with us. The Stone Drakes will help us out, and the Troggs dropped the information that they saw where the hammer fell, and those cowards more than likely told the Legion where to find it. The leader of the Stone Troggs, Borlak, he will tell us the same as we fly out with the Stone Mother, we attack his Troggs and we beat the crap out of him. With his final breath, he mentions that the Doomhammer is within the crumbling depths, but we're probably far too late. The Legion has quite the head start and probably has the weapon by now.
Ah, my hero returns!
The shaman at the Temple of Earth know nothing.
Stoneheart is missing some prospectors, but they don't have any ideas.
If we hurry, we can still follow the demon Gevzoon and retrieve the hammer before any more of this realm is corrupted. Fedazane is kind enough to open a portal directly to the crumbling depths.
We must
Go
fight
now.
together.
Retrieve your
perish
weapon
alone.
and slay the demon filth that seek it. Clean up your mess, flesh children, and stop throwing your garbage down into my realm.
The Doomhammer is somewhere in these chambers. I can feel it.
Here! That demon must have crawled this way! There's fell blood splattered on the stones!
Scout the chambers ahead. I will stay nearby.
In the tunnels, we find one of the Stone Earth prospectors that Maura mentioned. His entrails, which look like sand and pebbles, they're spilled all over the floor.
Imps! Gevzoon must be summoning these little buggers! Watch yourself! More imps! Thrall, that demon is still alive down here!
All the more reason to get to the Doomhammer first. Doomhammer. It felt like dead weight in my hands. The elements were silent. It has been this way since I used it to slay Garrosh.
Keep your eyes on Thrall. He's wounded. He's likely to kill himself down here. And I don't want to be the one who has to tell his wife. Watch it! That thing's corrupted by the Fel! Kill it!
I remember the night Orgrim fell. Run through by a knight's lance during the liberation of the last orc internment camp. As he bled out onto the fields of Arathi, he bestowed the Doomhammer to me. The Doomhammer is not merely a weapon. It is a symbol of hope, of power, proof that an individual can change the world. We've got to keep moving. Gevzoon is close.
Look! There he is!
What is this sorcery? This hammer, I must claim it for my masters.
Shaman, we can't let that weapon fall to the wrong hands. I'll distract them. You grab the Doomhammer. No time to argue. Go! Hey, you there! Me bird crap scarier demons than you! Oh, aye! Come get some!
The Doomhammer! Get the Doomhammer! Prove your power as a shaman!
You got it! Oh!
Pathetic, puny shaman! That hammer did little to help its last master. I will bring down this whole cavern! I will corrupt your sorry world from within!
The whole of Azeroth will rise against you, demon! The very earth beneath your feet and the skies above your head will lash out against your damned crusade!
There are others. We are Legion.
I think I'm done, Shaman. It's the end of the tunnel for me. May the ancestors thank you.
The Doomhammer chose you, Shaman. Already you wield it with a power that I never tapped into. I must go my own way. I have a great deal of thinking to do. Agra will be at the Maelstrom shortly. Listen to her counsel. She has taught me so much. Go back to the Earthen Ring. Bring them together. Turn their might against the Legion. This is your time.
Our connection to the elements, it allows us to tap into powers that not even the world shaman Thrall was able to tap into. That's how good we are, ladies and gentlemen, and with the Doomhammer in our hands, we can rain justice all over the demonic forces as we adventure through the Broken Isles. We also have the Earthen Ring that are in need of a leader, and the powers of the Elemental Lords are needed if we wish to have any hope for the future. However, those are stories for another time, so for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time, guys, see ya!